right behind us is the Potala Palace in Lhasa, China.
The place is in a lot of people's imaginations. It's no longer in ours. We're here. We're about 3,700 meters.
It took us about 46 hours on a train to get here, and we are so excited. It's amazing.
Originally, we meant to use Lhasa simply to acclimate for our bike trek. We were in transit, our ultimate aim being to find the spirit of higher and the spirit of the Olympics at Mount Everest. But in Lhasa, the world intensifies. The sky is deeper, the colors brighter, the sun stronger. Much more than we imagined it would, Lhasa became a crucial step on our higher journey.
In Lhasa, we realized that we were just two of thousands who come to Tibet daily to search for answers and seek inspiration. It behooved us to join the pilgrims and explore the holy city.
In the city center lies Barkor Square and Jokong Temple. For many Tibetans, Jokong Temple is the most important religious site in Tibet.
The Jokong Temple was built in the 7th century. It's actually 1,200 years old and was built on a lake.
At least that's the legend. But while the temple may have been built on water, it was also built out of jealousy. As the story goes, King Songtsen Gampo, leader of Tibet, married two women, one Chinese and one Nepali. Both had arrived to Lhasa with Buddha statues as gifts. When the king built the Chinese wife a temple for her statue, the jealous Nepali wife demanded a temple too. Jokong.
In another twist, the attempts to build the temple failed repeatedly. Finally, the Nepali wife asked the Chinese wife for help. It was the Chinese wife who suggested the temple be constructed on a lake.
Just so you know, photography outside Tibetan temples such as Jokong is fine, but oftentimes photography inside is not allowed. Yet, there are other surprises you can catch that will give you goosebumps.
To truly experience Lhasa, you must perambulate. While the city offers numerous holy temples to enter and explore, walking to and around sites such as Jokong is just as spiritually significant.
Notice that everybody's walking basically in one direction around the temple. That's for a reason. This is how you travel around the temple when you go clockwise.
Walking around the temples was good training too. The more we walked around, the more our lungs adjusted to the altitude. Hundreds of shops and restaurants alined the pilgrimage routes. We enjoyed exploring the new tastes.
This is yak butter. Just a little bit like butter with a little bit of Gouda. Shut up.
This is yak potato stew. And also, here is samba. And it's okay, what you do is you dip it right in here. It tastes like it's like a curry stew.
I got a little bit of shap track, which is yak with onions and tomatoes and garlic, and also some garlic bread, which looks a lot like naan. This is chang. This is the Tibetan barley alcohol.
I like it. Thumbs up.
If you have an issue with the button, there's a shop that can fix that too.
Better than the original.
We strolled over to the Potala Palace, perhaps the most recognized and definitely the most visible landmark in Lhasa.
The original palace was commissioned by the same king who built Jokong Temple, Songtsen Gampo. It burned down, however. Today's structure was built in 1645 under the 5th Dalai Lama.
The Potala Palace, which is now a museum, consists of more than 1,000 rooms. The palace can be thought of as two structures, one white, one red.
The white of the Potala Palace is the residence of the Dalai Lama. The red is for religious purposes. Most of the Potala Palace is made of bricks. However, at the very top of the red section of the Potala Palace, it is made of sticks, tiny, tiny sticks, millions and millions of sticks.
Painting the Potala Palace is done by taking buckets of white paint up to the top of these windows and just dumping it down the walls. No rollers, no paintbrushes, no taping anything off, and it looks great. I'm gonna ask my dad if I can do that to his house.
Circumambulating the Potala Palace is a must for pilgrims visiting Lhasa. During the walk, they spin the hundreds of prayer wheels that encircle the palace's hill. Prayer wheels, when spun, most often evoke the mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, which roughly translates to praise to the jewel in the lotus. Buddhists believe repeating the phrase leads to compassion and kindness, two keys to enlightenment.
Our bike soon arrived and we graduated from feet to wheels. We had to move on. Mount Everest awaited us. But thanks to Lhasa, we felt confident that our wandering pilgrimage would take us to where we wanted to go. Not just in location, but in mind and spirit. Lhasa showed us that we would find what we were looking for. To get there, we simply had to continue.